Hellos, people. Beautiful peoples, as beautiful as the day that we're experiencing right now. Um, I don't know. I want to come up on here and start talking, but I don't know what to talk about. So I think I'm gonna just talk about my fundamental understanding of the world. In the case that we know nothing. When we're born, we know nothing. We learn. Everything that you ever know, that you've ever thought, that you've ever experienced comes from your brain categorizing that experience into a mistake or a success, in which you learn from either of those. You learn how to use those mistakes and successes to formulate certain outcomes that you desire. Sort of like alchemy, where if you understand what the element is and how it shares certain similarities to certain elements, you can break it down and replicate it into something else, transmute it into something else. And I think life is one big alchemic, equation, where the infiniteness of our brain allows for just the utmost of knowledge to be like you can learn anything, and no one is smart and no one is dumb. Both those statements are untrue and true at the same time. The possibility of everything exists simultaneously. It's just when we experience it. We've already experienced everything. It's just a matter of when we experience it. And to that, I say the basic formula of life is simply to not give a fuck about the past and the future. I know it's so hard, and this is something that I've thought about that makes me wonder, okay, why do I think so differently from people? And it's because I have such a focus of my present in its very moment that I'm aware of the past so much so, and the future, that I understand, okay, a lot of what I'm gonna do is gonna have this outcome, which is a simple understanding that everyone should have, but in which the way it works for me is that I no longer I think about stuff in the future, and I'll think about stuff that I need to think about and prepare for. But other than that, once I handle such thing, it's like my brain is off. I can't sit there and think about the future. Even if I try, I can do it, but it's not going to be as sturdy as a worry is. It's not going to be something I'm constantly on that I just can't break my mind. It's the same way it's hard to let go of a worry is the same way it's hard for me to worry about stuff. And it's even when I know that these things are a detriment if they don't go the way they're supposed to, I still just kind of all right, well, these are the preparations. I can't do no more preparations until the time comes. So right now we're just in waiting. And anytime I'm kind of in that purgatory of waiting, I just am focused on the very absolute present moment, which I think is hard for some people to do. I don't too much understand it, but I don't know. It's just, I've been through stuff in life just like anybody else has. And I feel like I've just simply garnered a sense of control that a lot of people will never have. And the spectrum of that, where it's we all experience the same thing in a different font, but then their perception and the way they think about it is so vastly different from yours, you will never, ever be able to accurately understand to the number of how the percentage of how much someone feels about that. Even something like family death. Like, death affects people differently. Everything affects people differently. And I feel like it's that very thing that like causes me to think the way that I do, evidently so, because we're all different. We're all like, there's no copy of you. There's no another you that's gonna understand you and your memories and everything that you've ever been through and everything that you ever felt, evidently so. And because of that, I've garnered such a uniqueness to myself that like every time I encounter another person, I don't know, it just, sometimes it's difficult to understand people and their decisions and their actions. And honestly, the same way, it's very difficult for people to understand me. They don't get why I operate the way that I do. But it's just like, I don't know, to me, I've operated the way that have for so long that the universe is just good to me. I rarely ever get in sour moods. I rarely ever feel bad. I rarely ever get angry. And it's like, even when I do, I have such control and experience over myself that it's like, it's easy. I've learned my triggers. I've learned myself. I've done a lot of shadow work and, oh, hello. How are you today?
What's up, brother?
I'm good. How are you? I'm good. I'm
Smells
good. Yeah, thank you. Enjoy your ride. But yeah, I know I heard something. It was the first time where I actually heard something and it wasn't in my head. Usually I'll hear stuff and I'll look and nothing will be there. But so it was a biker. Anyway, honestly, I think like 2 or 3 more tobacco blunts and I'm good. I don't want to smoke this shit no more. Fuck. Forgot what I was saying now. But that's just what I mean. Like, no recollection of what I was previously talking about. I can only go back to the fact that I was talking about me being different and people not understanding me. I don't remember where it was leading off to. Like, I don't know. I didn't retain it the way you would retain a worry about the future, so much so that like even after an event, it comes back to me. Like, I quite literally the same way that it's like you give and you get. I don't know. I don't know half the time what I'm giving. I'm just giving through action. Like, I don't even think about my actions. I am them. Like, I've realized something about myself is that like I have such trouble thinking because the thinking is the do. My thinking is what I'm doing within action. When I'm fidgeting with something, when I'm disassociated, well, obviously disassociation is a form of like thinking, because you're detaching yourself and there's still something going on up there in the brain, whether you're aware of it or not. But I've just understood that, yeah, when I dissociate, it's a deeper level of thinking for me to get access to. But everything that I do is like even the ums and me not knowing what I'm about to say, up here it's blank, but I just think of the words subconsciously and the actions that feel right to what I'm doing in tandem with what happened before. So it's like, it's not like, and I feel like everybody does it. And like, for example, like with speech, when you learn your language so much so, you don't have to think about the fact that a word comes after another to form a sentence. Like, I like cars. You understand the word I is a proper noun that indicates the person who is speaking said statement. Like is, I honestly forget what like is, but like is a simile. I think, no, simile is like a metaphor. with like or as. I believe so. I forget. I don't know. I don't remember. But like is just a descriptive word. When you say like something, it's to emulate the likeliness of what that is that your brain can recreate. If you say you like apples, your brain, when you hear that statement, your brain is gonna go to the likeliness of an apple and all its attributes. Okay, the most likely apple he's talking about is a red apple or a fruit, not a plastic, like you know what I'm saying? There's different things that you're gonna go to the likeliness of based off of what you're hearing, and vice versa. When you speak, your mind is instant. It's not even thinking about the next word you're choosing. It just knows what's likely to fit in this sentence, in this statement. And I've unlocked that concept within my brain so much so in other avenues that I hardly think. I just do. Like, I know, like, I don't tell myself, like, obviously I'll tell myself in like movement. I'll tell myself in persuasion to action that, like, I don't want to smoke no more. Even though I'm sitting here right in front of you smoking for me is something that helps with upstairs, as simple as that. So therefore, because of how much it helps, subconsciously, I know I'm going to want to smoke. Even if I'm actively thinking about the fact that I don't want to smoke right now, I know deep down in my body, it's going to come a situation where I'm not going to think about it. I'm going to just start walking. And then I'm going to think about the fact that I'm walking to the dispensary and think, I really shouldn't be doing this. But I'm going to still keep walking anyway. Because it's like, you know yourself so much. And like, that's just a habit. And it's just something I have to learn, and breaking my habits more often or in stronger ways to break them. But in the same sense that it's a habit, it happens subconsciously. You don't think about it. Your body just acts on it. A lot of what I do now no longer requires me to think about it. Like, I just understand the correct action that should be taken for these measures. And my body just, like, the moment I read the situation for what it is, I'm taking that corrective action that feels most right to my body, which feels the likeliness of the righteousness that I'm feeling at that moment. Whatever righteousness that is, take that with a grain of salt, because that's not to be pretentious. That's not to be superior. That's not to say that I'm above people in the way that I think. It's literally just my moral compass and what I feel like is right in that moment. What my stomach is telling me, what my intuition is telling me, is what feels right. Because that's what that right feeling is. It's intuition. It's the moment you start doubting yourself and then you go, damn, I should never doubted yourself. That's what that righteousness is. That's what that intuition is. And that's the other thing too. I don't care to I don't care to operate within the bounds of our systematic rules. For example, when I speak and I say stuff, I know what I mean. And so even if I'm using a wrong word, I'll still use it because it sounds right in my head. Evidently, that's going to be looked upon as dumb, and it can be ignorant, because to acknowledge that words have proper definitions and you're intentionally using them improperly without any regard to change that behavior is like, it is ignorant. But it's a harmless ignorance. It's one that I don't have to worry about. It's one that's not causing damage to me or other people. So it's like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care about anything that I'm doing that is harming others. When it comes to harming me, I'll situate that in terms of smoking weed. It is something that is harmful for me just as much as it helps. And I feel like I can help myself without harming myself. And that if that means taking away weed, then I'm willing to try and learn how to do that. And honestly, I just feel like I just gotta lock in more. Like, I just be so bored. I be having so much time on my hands. And it's like, sometimes I come to the conclusion of like, fuck it, I could just smoke a blunt. And then I get out of hand with it. And I'd be thinking like, damn, I should probably stop smoking. I've been smoking for a while. I use that one little, I could have a blunt excuse to go get me 10 more, when it really should have just been that one. And I know that. And I don't want to be ignorant to stuff like that, because that's harming me. And so when I think about things in this nature, I already categorize them. And at that point, once it's categorized, I start thinking about it less. So it's not the fact that I can't stop. It's the fact that I like it more than I want to stop. Just like someone, oh, this is a butterfly. It's a monarch butterfly. I don't know if I'm catching it. I hope I am. But I'm willing to stop. But because I like it so much, I'm like, okay, yeah, I know I can last months without smoking it. So far, that's how long I've lasted. Months without smoking it. 3 months to say the most, which is not a lot. Honestly, I'm not too proud of it, because I feel like I could do way better than that shit. Like, I don't know. And like, I also like how I feel sober, but I think it's the withdraw, come down part of completely stopping it that fucked me up a little. Because when I start thinking about it, and I just start thinking about all this stuff, like, I don't know, I feel like intentionally the way weed works is it wants me to think about the stuff that worries me. And so I could have weed as an excuse to be like, oh yeah, it helps calm me down. But after a while, I regain mental fortitude of myself, and I just think about the fact that, like, yeah, realistically, I've gone through worse without weed, without ever even knowing weed existed. I don't need this shit. Like, I can really do this shit myself. It's just I get bored, and I'd be like, sometimes I just want a little hit of the blunt. Sometimes I want to smoke. Sometimes I want to feel a little hot. Sometimes I just want to be zooted. Like, I just want to just be, yeah, you feel me? Just slump, gone in the brain, because I don't want to actively go through this vast amount of waiting that I'm doing, waiting for the actual moments that I've already been prepared for happen. Because it's like, once the shit happens, it's going to go by quick, because of the fact that I've already thought of this before and I've already been prepared for it. So once I shoot my plan and goes into execution, one of two things is going to happen that I've already thought of before over multiple scenarios. Is that it's either going to go successfully and we continue on the next step, or I'm going to encounter a problem and I'm going to have to find the most relative way to solve this problem. And so the way that I think about that is I think about any problem that could occur in that scenario, but the ones that are more likely to occur based on the factors of that scenario. So for example, if I'm arguing with a person and they start getting loud and like really aggressive, I chalk, like, to me, fights like that, they ain't worth it to me. I feel like that's too much energy for me to be wasting. I don't got time. I got time to be cool and smoke because it made me feel good. I don't got time to be engaged in the scenarios that make me feel bad. So now I'm worrying about new things, and then I'm taken away from my rhythm of understanding. Okay, the event that I prepared for is about to keep going. Because, like, for example, right, if I'm going good, right, and I fight this dude and it end up getting me arrested and I have to go through this whole thing of probation, that fucks me up for whatever I got going on in that year. Because now I have to worry about an extra set of things that I wasn't prepared for and learn them and get right with the schedules and do these things and worry about them first, because they're now more important because I've made it more important, versus things that I've had prepared and they surprise me or sneak up on me because I wasn't paying attention. Like, there's something about my attention that doesn't need to be set. It's already set. And like, it's like that clock is always ticking in the background. Like, I hear every single beat without hearing it. Every single tick, every second, I feel that shit. It's like every moment I feel the past. Every time something shifts, every time my body starts to feel different, every new thing that happens that I process, I feel that shit. So it's like, I I don't be worried about nothing because I've already felt the need to be prepared. And I felt the need to have to overcome as well. With both of those combined, it's not a situation I haven't thought of where I'm not going to succeed or I'm not going to encounter a problem and figure how to get out of it the best way possible. Even if it's something new that I've never encountered before, I'm going to look at the most common ways I should go about this job and just do it without even thinking about it. First, I'm going to assess it, and then I'm going to act on that assessment without even thinking about it. It's not a situation where I make the assessment and then I got to turn to someone and be like, yo, should I do this? Like, this is what's going to happen, or this is like, do you think this is a good idea? Nah, if it's not a good idea, then I know, damn, I'm not going to do that again, but I have to do something different. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it first before I tell anybody I did it. So I feel like that's just the thing about me is like, I do first before I even tell myself. I just do it. And then I got to tell myself, okay, we can't be doing that, or that's okay to do. So I don't know. I don't really know what I was ranting about. I just wanted to talk about something because I just felt the want to talk. And that's just what I mean. Pulled out my phone. I was walking on the street, decided to go to the dispensary. Really, I wasn't going to go. But what prompted me to go even more so was the fact that I had 500 points on my junk. And when I walked up in there, they was like, yeah, you can get, if you buy an $8 pre-roll, you can get a Sev for free. So I was like, fuck it. Like, that's a steal. And it's things like that to me as well that, like, I don't get on myself. I give myself grace because I know if that wasn't the case, I know that if there wasn't something that was a little more rewarding, then I wouldn't take it. Like, I would have thought, like, nah, I probably don't even want none now. But I'm saying that's a free Sev, and I feel like after this Sev, bro, I'm gonna be cool. Like, I've already been thinking about this shit for a while, even beforehand. And like, it again, it's always rocky actually, like, telling myself no and stopping. But as of now, it's something that needs to be situated immediately, because I foresee that a lot of actions that I take now that cause me to think and do the things that I do are gonna have me at less of a level that I want to be on. I know, like, I can't be having these characteristics or these motives or subconscious actions in the future, because if this is where it's at now, if I can see that, like, it levels out here, then I know in the future, of me continuously doing it, it's gonna level out. I have to take shit away and see how taking it away, what kind of path that sets me off on, and whether that's higher or lower. Granted, I know it's gonna be higher because I've already been down that path, but I'm saying I've just been waving it out. I've just been waving this life shit out. Like, if you put it on a graph, it'd literally just be like a regular old wave. But honestly, I feel like now I'm at the point in time where I just want to start spiking and never go back down. And I've just really been thinking about all the shit that I need to do that shit. And like, thinking about it, I just be like, damn, I kind of don't want to do it. Or like, I don't want to leave weed alone for that long. Or actually not, because I'd honestly much rather not say I can't leave this bitch alone for life, because I don't know. I found out there's much better things to life than how smoking makes me feel. So it's literally just a pastime. It's like people who smoke cigarettes. They don't smoke it because they like smoking. They smoke it just because it's something easy to do. It gets you by. It's a quick activity. It just passes the time. The effect that we get from it is a bonus. It's gonna make that time that we pass feel more full, so you don't notice it as much. Like, damn, I spent my day smoking. I didn't even know the day passed on some calm shit. Even though I didn't have nothing to do today, I didn't do nothing wrong. So it's just like, I just sped the day up faster because I wasn't worried about it because I was smoking. But beyond that, I just like how I feel not smoking better. It's just when you're trapped in the perpetual loop, it becomes hard to jump out of it because you're constantly going down the cycle. It's like you're on a gravity well, one of those machines, those rides that stick you to the walls, and you trying to get up and get out, but it's very hard to actively get out because if anything, that's a great analogy because everything up to actually leaving the cycle, leaving the loop, is easy. It's easy to learn how to maintain balance and stabilize. But once you get to that door, once you struggle to open that door, you finally open it, and you go out, the worst thing is adjusting to the outside speed. If you jump out of one of those machines, whatever you hit is you're gonna get hit hard. The ground, you're gonna hit the ground hard. A bar, stairs, a person, you're gonna hit that shit hard. And that hard stop is what fuck people up. They feel like they need to go back in because like damn. Or like when they get put back in the loop, they remember how hard and difficult it was to stop. They get discouraged. And they think like it's probably worthless anyway. If it's easier to do it and harder to stop, why not just do it? Why not just put up with the withdrawals and the bad finances just so that way I could get my fix? That shit is everywhere. It's not just with drugs, it's not just with weed, it's playing the game, it's being on social media, it's being on the phone, it's going to Dunkin', getting you your drinks, going to Starbucks, going out to eat, going to watch movies, going to shop in the malls, going to just do whatever it is, even if you're just driving out and just looking at how beautiful nature is. It's not actively putting towards like, well, it depends, because some of those things can be a relief, especially if you have certain factors like you have enough finances to go willingly shop and spend money. If anything, I'd rather waste my time spending money I've accumulated myself that I know I'm gonna get back because I have just a cycle of cheese coming in than smoke. That'd be so much more fun. Like, so yeah, the smoking is just really boring. That's really my overall on that. Other than that, as a whole, y'all be good. I'm about to finish the rest of this. I'm about to enjoy myself. Honestly, like I know I'm not about to say that. I'm not about to justify nothing. I'm just about to accept the fact that I made this final decision. I'm about to enjoy this as a last send off, and that's something everybody says. You just got to be willing to commit to action. And at that point, and honestly, I'ma just like shit. I'll stockpile like, yeah, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm not even about to say that. I'ma just let it ride out. But yeah, we turning over a new leaf. We getting our shit straight. Cause we should have been on a straight path. But I don't blame myself. I just get to it. Cause it don't make no sense beating yourself up over it and not doing anything when the only thing to do is do something. That's the one fundamental of life I understand on a way that nobody else does. Well, I can't say nobody else, but like to me, the way that feels is that like I'm about me more than others people say they're about themselves. I feel like that's how I move, and the universe rewards me for that. I put out that energy, and that's what I get back, and that's why I'm never in no shit. That's why my life is chill but very boring. That's why I'm never bothered by people, and I have good people around me for when I am bothered by them. And that's the kind of life that I want. So it's like, okay, if that's how I want it to be in its best way possible, we're gonna move to that direction. And that starts with putting this shit down. Who knows? I might make like two blunts, two joints out the 7. Just think about it and be like, nah, I'm gonna do shit now, and then just throw that shit away. Cause that's what I've done before, but then I fell back into the loop. But yeah, who knows? Probably gonna cook that whole shit though.